This message is for my fellow Aries out there. Thank you guys for being here with me today. Aries or Aries cross-watcher, you can be anybody watching this. Here's what I'm getting today. By the way, it's good to be back. It took a couple days off. I've been having a lot of dental work done, so if you've ever had dental work, you know what I mean. It takes a bit, and it's also a process. It's like when you're coloring your hair or lightening your hair. It can't all be done in one time. I'm still not done, but it's good to be back. I missed you. So anyway, what I'm getting today is something happened. Like basically I was looking for something and I'm like, I know I have it. I know that I have it and I couldn't find it. And then I remembered, wait, I think I threw that away, but I needed it today. Like actually needed it today, but I didn't think at the time that I needed it. In fact, I kept it for a while. I kept it around for a while and then I just tossed it one day and what would you know? When I need it, I don't have it. So I'm going to apply that to our message today, guys. Plus, this is going to be a bonus too. I'm either going to put the bonus in this message or I'll make a separate bonus for you guys giving me so much love. I love you and appreciate you. So yeah, I think there is an individual here, Aries or cross-watcher. This could also be reversed. That at the time that they had your attention, at the time they had your admiration, your love, whatever this is, whoever this is, it could even be a family member, you know, a friend. They didn't really appreciate your presence. They didn't, now here's the thing though. I feel like they kept you around. Like they would have been fine with kind of keeping you around, only, you know, maybe putting you on the shelf somewhere where you could get dusty or losing you altogether, completely just losing you. As I did what I needed today, right? Just forgetting where it was, and then you find it one day and you're like, oh, I don't need this, and you get rid of it. Basically discarding you. Someone has discarded you time and time again, overlooked you time and time again, put you last, ignored you, treated you like you were not a priority. I mean, not that you had to be, not like you even demanded to be, but you also didn't want to be, you know, used or taken for granted, taken advantage of. Maybe you felt like you were. Maybe it wasn't that you felt like you were, maybe you actually were. I think that you were because now someone's regretting it. And only somebody would regret it if they realized after the fact, dang, I probably should have held on to Aries. And not just because I might need them later, but I should have appreciated them. I should have done more. I should have spoke up. I should have worked on the connection between me and Aries. I should have built the relationship, built a good rapport. So it's basically somebody is well, they're missing something that they could use now. They could use you now. They could use your friendship. They could use your love. They could use their sister, their brother. They could use their daughter, their son, whoever you are. They could use you now in their life. You know, it'd be nice to have a response from you, have a connection with you, and well, I mean, you can't, what are you gonna do? You gotta get a new one, right? And there's no other you because they threw it away. There's no finding what I was looking for today. I had to get a new one because I threw the other one out. What am I gonna do? Go into where all the trash goes years and years ago and try to find what I discarded then? It's impossible. It's not going to happen. So I feel like somebody here is wondering if something is possible. Maybe there's a part of them that knows that it's not. You know, maybe their pride is keeping them from coming forward and at least trying to look for you, trying to find you, trying to discover you. And by this I just mean somebody knows they could try to reconnect, but I'm telling you, they're in their ego. Like they're in their ego, they're in their pride. They'll never tell you this, but I'm here to tell you today. They're sitting here, and maybe you guys can relate to this person though. This isn't like a message to be judgmental on people who do this, because we can relate. By the way, side note, you know I'm ADD. I've been studying Spanish, guys. I told you I wanted to study Spanish, and I got the app, and I've been doing it for like about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour every day, and it's addictive because I love Spanish so much. Like, I want to be fluent. And So I've had so much fun. I feel like one day I want to do a whole message in Spanish just when I get to that point. I'm very new at it, but I'm really proud of myself. Like, I don't know. I just had to share that with you guys. I'm proud. Okay, this is part of the message. Thank you, Spirit. You are focusing on you right now, Aries, okay? You're focusing on you. You're doing what you want in life. You kind of put this person also to the side. What are you going to do? Sit there and rot? No. You know, you're not going to do that. And you've been living your life, basically. Some of you, it's been working really hard on yourself spiritually, working on your career, your hobbies, your goals, your dreams, your family, strengthening those bonds, working on your health, you know, maybe all the above. You've just been more so, you took the energy that you were giving another person and you turned it towards yourself, which is a positive thing to do. It's a good thing to do. And maybe this was meant to happen. You know, like I said, you want to be understanding of someone, even if they were completely dismissive to you and your feelings. I mean, we don't want to be hateful, even if people were hateful to us. We don't want to be, again, judgmental, but at the same time, I'm not even sure that you would be interested if you were capable of being found at this point. Meaning, if someone did come out of their ego and wanted to step forward and say, hey, you know, I didn't realize at the time that I overlooked you, that you would have been an important person in my life, or whatever the story is, right? Because it's going to be different for everybody, depending on who it is. Family, friends, love, whatever. Work. Like, I didn't realize at the time that you would have been an asset, or that you were already. I didn't realize that you were genuine, that you meant me no harm. I didn't realize that you really cared about me. You know, you don't really appreciate what you've got until it's gone. It's like that. I'm going to write that down. Aries didn't appreciate you until you were gone. And you know what's interesting too? Like, the item that I needed, that I threw out a long time ago, that I kept around for a while and it just kind of gathered dust, and I was like, I'm not going to need this again, and ended up needing, I had to get another one. And so, but before that, I looked for other items like it and I just couldn't find it. It actually took me forever to find the item, and I finally did, but just like nothing else would do because it wasn't what I was looking for. And this also applies here, guys. Like, whoever this is, you know, if it's work, like, let me give an example because I just said applies. So maybe someone here didn't appreciate you when you applied, or they didn't appreciate you when you were working with them or for them. And now that you're gone, even though their pride will not allow them to come forward and say anything, their energy speaks for itself. The person is thinking, man, everybody who's come and applied after you, everybody who's worked here after you, even the people that are still here, you know, they're not you. They don't have the charisma. They don't have the personality. You know, yes, they're special in their own way. Everybody is, but you brought something special to somebody's company and they took you for granted. Or you would have, but they threw out your application, or they didn't even give you a second thought. They lied to you, basically. Somebody, maybe they said, we'll give you a call, and you never heard back. Or you worked somewhere and you were made fun of, laughed at, overlooked, you know, mistreated. I don't know. And then they may have had lots of things to say when you left the company or when you walked out the doors if you were just applying. And then, you know, come to find out, they maybe have been getting to see you and know you behind the scenes and realize, like, wow, that would have actually been a really good option for us. I mean, that sounds bad to say, but you know what I mean? Like, they would have been a good asset to our company. Let's say it was romantically, you know, somebody here, they didn't see the quality in you. They didn't see the potential in the two of you being a good match. Like, they just didn't see it. They didn't see that you were genuine. Maybe it was their trust issues. Maybe they were into somebody else. Maybe you weren't their type. I don't know what it is. Maybe you had different views and beliefs, and it could have been a number of things, but somebody here entertained the idea with you and you may have even felt used or whatever, but you know, it just never moved forward because there's a numerous amount of reasons. But I'm telling you, they are sitting back and they think about it, and they mull over it, they go over it in their mind, at least during this time they are, and they're thinking, man, I wonder what Aries is doing, how Aries is doing, or they know because they watch you from behind the scenes, but they're thinking, You know, I'd like to reach out, but they probably won't answer, and I don't want to be in my feelings. They don't want to get their ego hurt because they feel like you're just going to snub them or treat them like they treated you, like try to get them back or something, like as if you're petty. It's like, wow, give me a little credit here, you know? But that's the vibe I get. You know, somebody thinks that you're just going to try to like punish them in a way, get them back. This could even be an ex. It doesn't have to be somebody that you were with, Aries or cross watcher. Vice versa. This could just be someone that you were with and it, you know, it didn't work out for whatever reason. And maybe you stayed around for a while, like you didn't date right after, you kind of kept your heart open, you held space for this person. And what did they do? Well, they kind of stomped all over your heart and threw it in the trash and then shit on it and flushed it down the toilet and then somehow got it out of the drain pipe and picked it up and, you know, like they basically just destroyed you in every single way. And no, it's not funny, but I mean, now they're realizing, like, I shouldn't have said what I said to Aries, vice versa. I shouldn't have treated them the way that I did, but if I were to approach them as I am, and I say it like that because maybe some of them, for a few of you, have approached you, but from like fake accounts. So you like don't even know who you're talking to or who's really liking and commenting and replying and responding and whatever to your stuff, but it's like inwardly you know. You know, some of you that's the case because they know that if they approached you from who they really are, or they think anyway, that you would maybe be petty or you would intentionally not respond because you don't want to hear from them. Just ego, ego, ego. In every situation, somebody is in their ego, okay? Some of you, Aries, this will be your bonus since the timer went off. From here on out, we'll go ahead and put the bonus with it. I did that for Aquarius and I liked it. It ran smoothly. Some of you, this is a person who you weren't connected to directly, okay? But they were connected to a person that you were connected to at one time and things ended badly, okay? Whether it was a relationship or a friendship or a family member, it's somebody connected to a person that you don't want anything to do with anymore. That person, for others of us, would really like to build a relationship with you, would really like to connect with you. Maybe even, depending on how it goes, build a romantic connection with you, but there's somebody in the way, like a roadblock, right? So they just kind of watch you from behind the scenes again, same type scenario, thinking, well, technically I wasn't the one that did Aries or cross watcher wrong. I wasn't the one that, you know, ruined the relationship. I wasn't the one that betrayed them or treated them this way or said these things or did these things to them. So, but will they hold it over my head because I'm connected to a person, you know what I'm saying, that Aries or cross watcher is not connected to anymore? They think these things, but instead of just asking or saying something, they don't say anything, because I'll tell you why. Because they're afraid that it's going to get back to the person who knows you, who you don't talk to anymore, who you just don't want a connection with. Doesn't mean you hate the person, you just don't want a connection with anymore. You learned your lessons. So they could say something, but there's like a couple of things that fear. You want to sum it up, it's fear. The fear is really what is the main ingredient here that gets in the way of somebody just speaking up and saying how they feel and you know, how are you doing? You know, even just that would be it would be nice to hear that somebody cares. But I'll tell you, I'm here to tell you now, somebody does care clearly, because you're getting their attention without knowing it. I think you do feel it. You may have dreamt of this person, maybe their name pops in your head every now and then randomly. It's because this person does check on your online presence, whatever that is, whatever social media you have, or if you live near them, they see if you're home or they see if you're at work or whatever, depending on who I'm talking to, you know, but they just are not going to say anything. And it's like, it must be really, you know, if we come from a place of understanding, we have to think it has to be such a really lonely place to be afraid of everything. Like, not that somebody's afraid of you, they're just afraid of the possibilities, like the potential of what if, and it's like, it must be lonely and miserable to live in fear 24/7, to care so much about, like, you can't even really live that way. It's not living, it's suppression, it's confinement, it's trapping. It's like somebody is trapped in their own thoughts, and now they're forced to kind of just live in a fantasy of what if I never let Aries go? What if I never tossed them out like I did my item? What if I never overlooked them? What if I spoke up initially? before it got to this point and too much time has passed now? What if I handled the situation differently? It's like they wouldn't have to think these things if they would have, one, just done it, but we can't go back in time, you know? But they live in this every single day. So they play out scenarios in their mind, how things could have been if things would have turned out differently. But it's like, well, it's crazy to think that, you know? This would be like if you lived your life like that, Aries, as you get older, or cross watcher, and you think, man, what would my life have been like had I went to school for culinary arts? Maybe some of you went to school for this. I'm picking up on that. Was so random. You know? Well, what if? What would my life be like? But it's like, well, you're not dead. You know what I mean? You're not dead. You may be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, but you're not dead. I mean, there's women that I have seen, I don't know their names, but they're like up in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and they take on like ballroom dancing. Yeah, they go back to college. Like, your life is not over. As long as we're both still breathing, there's still a chance. Like, how important is a connection to you, and why? Like, what are your motives? Otherwise, maybe it's a blessing that somebody isn't coming forward, Aries or cross watcher. Maybe it is. You have to think of it that way. Maybe it's the universe kind of also keeping someone away because they know how things would be. It would maybe possibly just be a repeat of before. So there's a reason that, you know, it's like this, you feel it, and then no, and then they want to, and then they don't, and then they, you know, and then you kind of feel that, and then sometimes you don't feel their energy at all, and then sometimes you feel it strongly because they're very indecisive. They can't make up their mind, and the universe could be at play, you know, not just the person's fear, but God or whoever you believe in could honestly be kind of like, I don't think this will be in the best interest of Aries at this time. They have a lot that I want them to focus on, and they have, maybe we don't even know what's coming for us in career, in our personal lives. So it's better to just kind of know this information. There's a reason we're getting it today, but also step back and kind of let what needs to happen happen. And if you are meant to hear from somebody, you will. If you're meant to find that thing, you'll find it. You know, if you're meant to reconnect with somebody. Otherwise, I feel like it's important for us to not get distracted. It's important to stay focused on what it is that we want, on our dreams, goals, aspirations, our family, our health, our children if you have them, and not let things like this really get to you too much, because it's a waste of time. Right now, we don't really have the energy for should I, shouldn't I, will I, won't I, can I, can't I. You know, we honestly don't like indecision. You know, Aries or cross watcher, whoever's watching this video, you take on the energy of an Aries, or you're an Aries yourself, or this could be completely reversed. But what I'm feeling today is we don't have a lot of, we just don't resonate with indecision. It doesn't mean that we can't take our time to like figure something out and to make a choice. You know, we used to be very impulsive, but perhaps we've grown out of that. Yes, there are times that you have to like step back and wait a minute before you make a decision and jump all in. But at the same time, like, we don't sit on something too long where it's just like super, you can't rely on it. You can't count on it. Whoever is coming through today, you can't rely on this person. Perhaps you can't even still. I feel that you couldn't rely on them before. They got what they needed out of you. They got the use out of you that they needed, as I did with my item. And then we were put to the side, you know, they needed us when they needed us, and then that's it. Or they entertained us when we were there before them, and then that's it. You know, it's like out of sight, out of mind, or that's how you feel. Well, maybe for a while it was out of sight, out of mind, because people were distracted by other things, other people. But now something's happened. Something's happening in somebody's life to make them kind of have enough time to sit still, where they are thinking of you more. And it's like, I wonder how Aries is doing, or what Aries is doing, or if I reach out, you know. But I think at this point, it's not our concern to focus on it. I think we just needed to know this information for some reason, and to not stress it. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. If you're meant to hear from someone, you will hear from them. But as far as anything else, I think that you're doing the right thing, focusing on you. You've grown a lot more by doing that, and it's all in all better for you. Because then, and if You're meant to connect with somebody again that you've connected with before, whether it's family, friends, a work situation, anything. Lovers, you will have a full cup. You won't be empty. You won't feel like you haven't accomplished what you needed, and then all your attention is going right back. It's just a repeat of how you did it before, where you came from more of a place of either need or I have this energy and I'm willing to just give, but I mean, it's not Halloween. You know what I mean? This isn't trick-or-treating. It's time for you now. So your candy bucket is empty, or was emptied by someone. It was dumped all the way out, or pushed in a cabinet somewhere and forgotten about till it went bad, and or collected dust and then it was tossed out. I mean, your heart and your love was not appreciated, needed, wanted, respected, all the above at the time. Now all of a sudden there's a demand for you, there's a want. And so where do we go from this message? I don't know, but that's what we got today. So thank you guys for being here with me. I'm so happy. I just feel really good today. And yeah, I think that's all we got. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. All right, Aries. I got off of the video and I had a little bit more time to kind of recoup. I did some more messages, ended at Cancer, and I said, well, I'm going to do Leo, but I couldn't go forward. I couldn't move anymore. I was stuck right there after Cancer. I said, I can't. I have to go back to Aries. I have to return. No shit, right? So I ended at Cancer just now. And I said, well, I feel a lot better than when I first started with Aries' message earlier. Because when I first started our message, Aries or Crosswatcher, whoever, I don't know if you could tell, but like, I mean, I was fine, but I felt more like just so drained and kind of just, I mean, I have had a lot of dental work, you know, we talked about that, but I'm going to put this at the end of the video. If you'll notice, I did a little clip right here, a little space in between the bonus message and the general. This is a bonus because, guys, I can't walk away from that message the way that I did. There's more to say. And that's the point. Someone's going to do it. I know that message kind of left off vague. It kind of left off like, thanks, thank you, I guess. You know, not that we weren't, you know, appreciative of the message at all. We were appreciative of the message, but it didn't really go anywhere. It was just kind of, could have done without it, you know. I mean, that's how I felt. I don't know how you guys felt watching the first part, but I just wasn't really impressed, you know. And I feel that's what's going on here. Some of you may have not been left impressed. Not that somebody has to entertain you, but you get what I'm saying. By somebody's actions or the lack of their actions, the lack of action that somebody took on you or with you. You're like, okay, I'm getting all this energy coming my way. I can tell that somebody wants to say something but isn't. And it's like, well, what the hell? Well, they're going to do it. Why did I get back on here? To add this on to the message. Because it has to be said. I don't know where this is going to go, and that's what someone's going to say, or along the lines of they don't know where something's going to go with you, where it's going to lead, especially because there's probably some sort of block between the two of you, meaning another person is involved. Could be family, though. It doesn't have to be romantic. Or they're in a relationship. Or distance. It's like, oh, well, I've talked myself out of it because we don't even live near each other, so they're not going to let it stop them. Somebody's going to say something. They're going to reach out and connect, whether they have to do it on the phone, whether they have to do it online, whether they have to fucking show up and make the trip. They're going to do it anyway. Although I believe it's taken them a long time to get to this point. It's taken them a lot of pain. I think physical pain, you know, a lot. It's like, I have to get this off my chest. I just have to tell you. I've been avoiding you. I've actively been avoiding you. I think they're going to tell you the truth. Like, I've been avoiding you. I've been avoiding telling you this. I've been avoiding admitting you this. Did you hear the door close? I even shut you out. I shut you out. I tried to not think about you. I tried to forget you. And it worked for a little while. It worked. You know, I was able to kind of just go about my life and not give you a second thought. But I'm telling you right now, I can't forget you. I can't get you out of my mind. And honestly, I realize that tomorrow isn't promised and we don't know if we have another day on this planet. So I do want to tell you how I feel. And how is that? I don't know. Someone's going to tell you the truth though. Whatever someone tells you, trust and believe it's honest. Why did I come all the way back to this before continuing on? Because I couldn't go further. It's like it wouldn't come out of me. I physically could not move on to Leo without coming right back to Aries after Cancer. I had to get it out. And I know with a certainty that this is because this was meant to be in your message. This is why it was left off. The first part of this was left off the way that it was. Just kind of, could have done without it. Lackluster, just not very, you know, like, okay, thanks, like, fine, great, like, well, you're gonna get your answers. You are. Someone's gonna tell you. They're gonna be very blunt and honest with you and tell you where they've been, tell you why they haven't talked to you, why they haven't reached out. I don't think this is like a blame game type thing. It may even appear to some of you like as if it could be a little excusey, like someone's going to be using excuses. But if you try to just listen more than listen to reply, you might actually see that someone's being genuine with you. I think they're going to try to hide their feelings at first and not like let it all out emotionally how they're feeling. But trust and believe what someone is really trying to say up front, and what they probably should say up front, is leading in with I love you. Let me just say that first, I love you. But I don't think that's the first word someone's going to use. It may end that way. They may eventually get to that. Initially, though, it's just going to be like, I had to say it. I'm just going to have to do it. I just had to do it. I have to tell you, I knew I was going to have to do it anyway because I've been avoiding it. I don't know. I don't want you to shut the door all the way. I can't let you go. I respect if you don't want anything to do with me. I respect if you don't feel the same way, but I can't let you go. I can't just leave it on this note. I can't leave what we have on this note together, like, without telling you this, ... whatever this is. So now I'm going to go, Aries, or Aries cross watcher. This could also be reversed, guys. This could be you saying this to another. Like, I just want to say this before whatever else happens next, But I can't go forward. I can't go forward anymore without getting this off my heart, off my chest, because I've tried for so long and it's killing me. It's literally eating me alive. I think somebody's worried about this. I truly do. I know I said I was about to go, but I really think somebody's worried sick about telling you this, about opening up to you, talking to you about something. I think they're worried about this conversation, this message, this meeting, this meetup, because they don't know how it's going to go. They don't know if you're going to feel the same way. They don't know how you're going to take it, handle it, whatever. They don't even know if you're going to reply, some of them. Some of them think, well, I don't deserve, if Aries or cross watcher doesn't, I don't deserve it. But that's also their fear. But they also know that if they don't at least say it, they'll never know. All right, guys, now I'm going to go. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you later. At least we have an answer.